Thanks for joining me as I do a little playtime painting in my art journal. I have decided that in this session I'm just going to work with 4 colors. So I'm working with phthalo blue, black, white, and quinacridone nickel ozo. I haven't brought in that color yet, but started out with the black and the phthalo blue, added a little touch of white at some point right here to get a little bit of the lighter blue in there. Again, I'm just working intuitively and really just enjoying painting with no purpose really, and just letting the color and the marks speak to me as I go. I really enjoy some of the contrast of the dark and light here. Before I started painting, I had just really was kind of feeling some heavy energy that I was just wanting to release. And when I just kind of felt into that energy, it just kind of felt biggish and black with all the colors mixed in there. So I put the black and the blue in there and just put it on the page, get it out of my body and onto the page, where it could just dissipate and here be transformed by color and paint. And anyway, so as you can see, I brought in the quinacridone nickel ozo, just a great color. And it's so fun when you actually mix that, when it's full on quinacridone nickel ozo, it looks kind of like this goldeny rust color. And then when you add a little white, it lightens up into a light golden yellow. If you add that phthalo blue to it, you'll see later on it actually becomes a green. So it's just fun to experiment with colors. I don't really study a lot of color theory. I learn mostly by play and experimentation. Here you can see me using a paper towel. It's one of my favorite painting tools because I love how it can create soft, smudgy, blendy areas. I learned that when I was painting my Marshscape series, which you can explore on my website at nataliemarquis.com. If you're curious, just go over to my portfolio and click Marshscapes. But anyway, here I start sort of in the bigger areas, and I'm just enjoying blending the colors and working intuitively just with what feels good. And every now and then I think, I should even out where the blue appears, a little on this side, a little on that side. But mostly I'm just enjoying the process. And here is where I mix the quinacridone nickel ozo with the phthalo blue to create a green. I really didn't know that's what it would do until I put it together. I'm like, it's a beautiful green. So just adding some botanical viney element here. No particular reason, just thought it would be fun. Was struggling a little bit painting these leaves because I was trying not to turn the page because I know it's not fun to be watching a video when it turns all around. So just trying to stay in one motion was a little challenging for me. But hey, I worked through it. And here I'm just adding in bringing that green mix into different areas of the painting here on the lower edge. And there you can see me adding some saturated quinacridone nickel ozo and then creating some yummy drip marks. Always a fun thing. Do that by adding, more of the paint and then a little mix of water into it and then spraying some water that can create some drips in an easy fashion. Now I'm adding a few highlights to the leaves. Probably a little too soon to be doing this amount of detail, but felt like the thing to do at the time. So again, it's all about enjoying the process and not really worrying about the outcome. It's such a good thing to do for our energy and our spirit. It's just very freeing, and I just find allowing myself this time for creative expressions to just be something that brings me so much pleasure and peace and calm. A lot of times when I'm painting, I am listening to a podcast, although I kind of listen to it with a soft focus. I'm not really tuned in, but having that going on in the background is kind of quiets, my analytical thinking brain, otherwise it can get a little too noisy sometimes, and start offering me a critique when I really don't want to hear a critique while I'm painting like this. So I'll listen to a podcast and then just drop into the flow of painting, which is just so fun. There's just something I find so incredibly pleasing and enjoyable about color and paint and all the different textures and brush strokes and marks you can make, and then all the little happy surprises that occur as you're painting and just trying things in the flow of the moment. And so here again, creating some drippy marks with a phthalo blue this time, just to add some different points of interest. Again, all these layers and mark making things just add, when you layer them on top of each other, they just create some pretty texture and depth in the painting that I just enjoy. And here I'm just, again, my thinking brain was saying, oh, we got to have a little point of contrast where the light meets the dark. And I guess I decided that I wanted that area to be the, more of the focal point of the painting. So that's where I put the lighter light. Again, not, giving it a big critique, because I'm really just mostly wanting to enjoy the process. Here I'm mixing a little black and nickel ozo. I'm putting it at the bottom of the stems here. I add a couple touches of the quinacridone, and then I spray some water and then use that skewer stick to just spread it around and create a little bit of a floaty feel at the bottom here. At some point here, my phone storage is maxed out and the video ends and I'm unaware of it, so I continue painting. But I will show you photos of the completed work, and here they are. Here is the completed painting for today's session, and a couple of close-ups of the various portions of the painting. It was just a fun, really enjoyable play session of doing abstract painting in my art journal, and I hope you enjoyed following along with me. I'd love to hear what you think. Please leave a comment or reach out with any questions. I hope you have a great day.